My Gavan and Melonin, and well met indeed. I'm Arakir Galadrith, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back as we continue on as Ered Luin. This video is being brought to you on a Saturday, because this Monday there will be a Turin Turamba video, a lore video, and I didn't want to do two videos on the same day, so this video is a little earlier. We are building up to the first of the great and coming invasions. An army is being built to hopefully take Mithlond and Harlond before the invasion strikes so that we get attacked by Bree and not by the High Elves, because that's a good way of showing off one of the other little features that many people may not know is even possible, which is the whole point of this entire playthrough. But troops are being sent back, of course, to Thorenthal's to prepare for the inevitable, and Grindfarn is moving south. He's the one who's hopefully going to take Mithlond. His army and Oin's army will connect together, and with any luck, we shall be successful. We will need a great deal of luck, because if Mithlond has a large garrison, we almost certainly will not achieve victory, for the elves are very powerful indeed, and despite us being hardy warriors as dwarves, we are still not really a match for the elves. But Harlond, however, will have almost no garrison, so that won't be a problem at all, but taking Mithlond will be a challenge. And of course, then it puts the other problem that we are then at war with the elves, but they will be our only enemy. And we've, of course, allied with Angmar, which we did in the last episode, which at least secures our eastern border. I don't need another general. Karandros is under attack. So you're heading off, and you're heading south. There we are. We're going to meet Captain Turwaithian down there. Waithian, sorry. Eighth. Head yourself back. It's very bright with the snow, isn't it, Blimey? Oh, you've got miles to go. You really have got ages to go. So our most easterly border now is the little town of Fuerost, where Kuri is the governor and currently only garrison force. In Barketta, we have a small garrison of Ered Luin militia, which if we can get that barracks, then we won't be able to build them. They'll take a long time. So we're not doing anything there. I'm sure I built roads in Barketta, and I missed a turn. No, I definitely saved it at that point when we were moving south. I'm sure I built roads in Barketta, or did I delete them so that I could get more troops or something? I don't know, I can't remember. But in any event, something has just built somewhere, which had not yet built. Ah, Stoneworkers Guildhouse in Thorenthal's. Yes, that's ideal. Bring that to the fore, please. We don't have very long at all, and we may indeed not make it. But so our money really needs to go into troops, to be honest, because particularly pikes, those will be very handy, to govern and defend Thorenthal's. But we've got a general there who now has all three of the Rings of Power, making Thorenthal's give us a ton of money. So we don't want to lose it. We do not want to lose those rings in an ill-fated attack from our enemies. Oh, and our diplomat. Where's our diplomat? Has he made it to Khazad-dûm? I think he's trapped in the forest and hasn't moved for some time. We'll need to make sure that he's moving, because we want to re-establish alliances with the dwarves so that we don't get attacked by the dwarves. Again, so that I can show you, because I think most people probably wouldn't seek out alliances with the dwarves. Maybe they'd forget, or maybe they won't read the script message that pops up. So I'm trying to show you all of the various features. Although, as somebody pointed out about 3 episodes ago, I forgot, but because I didn't really see it, but there was a scripted message about the rings that pops up as soon as you accept them that I did not read. So I apologise for that.
Aye, my liege.
But that one was just basically explaining that the rings are beautiful and not like nothing we've ever seen and that kind of stuff. It was only a little minor fluff. It didn't really further the story. It just told you about what you'd been given. 2 of those are training, which is nice. If you hold down the Alt key, you can set the rally point so that they'll move out as soon as they train, which is very handy. I don't want you. Garth Heligoff, have you got a pike unit back? Ah, yes, you have. And some scouts. I will take those. Get thee to Thorin's halls. One little unknown tidbit is that if you've got 2 places in one location like we had there, you see both blue lines, you can left click on it and then right click and move it wherever you want. But then you can't then select it again if it's in a town, unfortunately. But to remove this, you just hold the Alt key again and right-click back on the original town, and it goes away. But that's a little feature available in Medieval.
Aye, my liege.
Right, the diplomat. Where is he? Yes, as expected, he's trapped. Now, we need to get down to Khazad-dûm sharpish, because unfortunately, something that we're not going to see in this campaign, I don't think, part of the Basra-dûm reclamation is that you can reach out to the Erebor, and you can reach out to Khazad-dûm, and then they will send you some troops. Oh, Dunedain, do me a favour. But we probably won't see that, because I think Khazad-dûm will die long before we complete the Buzzardrum reclamation. Halbarad of the North has come. We're not going to fight that. We will definitely die, and we'll kill absolutely none of them. So the Northern Dunedain have already brought forth their battle plan. I did not expect them to come up and hit us like that. Angmar, are you still at war with them? I trust you are. Do note that when you become neutral, of course the good nations don't like that you've decided to turn your back on the free peoples. And so whilst your relations don't improve with anyone other than Mordor, obviously Mordor like that you accepted their offer, but your relations with the good nations in Eriador take a dive, so it's far more likely that you will be attacked by the good nations. So again, whilst not strictly speaking an evil campaign, everything is weighted against you, or weighted in for you to become evil. Sorry about that. The downside to being a cat owner is the little gifts that they bring you. And Ancalame is turning into quite the huntress, and today it was a tiny little baby bird. Disappointing, but what can we do? Nothing really. Anyway, raiding in the lowlands. The power in the mountains has shifted beyond your control, Clan Lord. It cannot have escaped your notice that Grindfarn is now seen by many as the lord of these high halls. What's more, word now reaches me that he has been ordering raids on Elvish and Breeland settlements, and his people are waylaying travellers on the roads around the Loon. I cannot imagine that the peoples of Eriador will allow this to continue. It'll be obvious to any survivors that they were attacked by dwarves. I understand the Grimborn have taken to crafting mock weaponry, replicas of Breeland and Elven weaponry, so as to throw the targets off the scent. There is one thing that cannot be disguised, however, and unless the hobbits have taken up arms against the elves, there is no other race of our physical stature. The elves will come, and we can only hope Grinfarn will be ready. So Grinfarn is sending his people off to raid the elves, so it's quite lucky really that we are planning to attack them ourselves. Speeding up the process. Ooh, we've caught them a little unawares, and Círdan is not in the city. It's really annoying that we've lost Oskelon. That's really bothered me. Oh, I was trying to come and get peace with you, wasn't I? What? You're happy to do all of that? Are you serious? Why did you...
How could we refuse such a generous...
I'm really perplexed. Why? What was it about Oskelon that you particularly really wanted? Oh, hello. Círdan has come all the way... What are you doing, Círdan? So Círdan has gone on something of a suicide mission, and he's come in person to protest the actions of Grinfarn and the Grimborn. But he's about to be sorely disappointed when we sneak into his capital city in his absence and take it from under him. Oh, and that was well timed on the getting peace, wasn't it? Because look, they are right there. We're about to get overwhelmed by the Northern Dunedain. Now, was that the turn we've moved the diplomat? Ah, yes, then we can move him. Keep going to Khazad-dûm and get me that alliance. So, our allies at the moment are the dwarves of over on the remnants of Angmar, but the Northern Dunedain have no relations to Erebor, but they are at war with Angmar, so our relations will deteriorate. And of course, unless we ally with them as well, which you cannot do, because you can't be allied to two people at war, they always can still attack us, and they might. Now, unlike Warhammer 2, there isn't really a reliability stat in Medieval 2, so it doesn't really work in the same way. Are you actually attacking me? Oh my giddy aunt.
Dire news.
I can't believe that Círdan has done this. I can't get troops to help either. It's our garrison force versus Círdan, and I don't think I've built the armory because the armory doesn't work with scripted attacks, and I didn't expect anyone else to attack us. That's worked out so wonderfully, hasn't it? Because only one turn after the message popped saying that the elves are surely going to come for us, the elves actually came for us. That's not even scripted. They've just done that on purpose. Now, allow me to just say that if we do lose Thorin's Halls prior to the script, then it obviously just does not fire. So, one of the requirements of the script to actually work is that Thorin's Halls is owned by us. But I see your warmongering, Mithlond, and I raise you warmongering of our own. I'd rather just take ladders. They won't defend the walls anyway. We'll go through the gate. So there's two units, or there's a unit of long spears. There's some bowmen, a Manyar swordmasters, guards, two guards, a mariner, and then Rochendil. And Rochendil has Calaquendi lords. Yes. So we've got more than enough troops to deal with that. But the problem is going to be getting to Harlond in time because I think we're really up against it now. I think our timing grows short. Oh, is that us losing money? Oh, yes, because we just lost 2,000 in the siege of Thorin's Halls.
defeat.
But I'm hoping that Círdan might pull back now we've attacked Mithlond. I'm hoping he will see that that is more important than... I mean, if he takes... Oh, we should have attacked and then lost. No, because then if he doesn't have room for the ancillaries, they just go... I really want to keep those rings. I did not see that coming at all. I never in a million years expected the elves would attack us that early on. Because if we attack and we lose Thorin's halls, we can then easily get it back because Círdan will be the only garrison unit and we'll be able to outnumber him. But if we allow him to continue sieging us, we'll lose all this money that we are losing right now. So it's a bit of a lose-lose situation at the moment. Oh, Dale are doing well.
You are mistaken.
He's closing in.
Of course, sire.
He failed a mission, an alliance. The Ardenaim and Variags. We're not bothered about that. Ah, yes, as expected. Perfect. Thank you, Círdan. I'm very pleased at your decision here. Chief of the Blue Mountains. Let's give a ring of power to Clan Lord Gore and a ring of power to Clan Herald Grain. With all three of them in the same settlement, it should have the same effect. We should... Oh, we're just about losing money, actually. But I can retrain, but those three of you shouldn't have come back because you don't get free upkeep here, and I can't retrain you either.
Aye, Lord.
Right, in you go.
My king.
And get you gone. Once Mithlond falls. Ah, Nechainion has come as well. Nechainion is just a Calaquendi lord, of course. How many troops did we get? It gets 5 units of elven defenders, but we can't wait 8 turns. We're going to have to go. We don't have any range other than 1 crossbow unit, but we have got 3 units of Grimborn Reavers. But we're going to have to fight it, otherwise we won't be able to get to Harlond in time. And we can't wait 8 turns because the attack will happen before 8 turns. To be honest, I'm thinking that we're not going to get to Harlond in time no matter what, so maybe we shouldn't fight this. But then even if we can't get to Harlond, we're now at war with the High Elves anyway, so anything that we can do to try and stymie their advance would be very worthwhile. But this is Mithlond at the moment. It is just a generic elven city, so we've got to come through that gate, and then we've got to curl around the sort of edge, the cliff-like ravine under that bridge, and then hit up into the square. So they will almost certainly be on those walls and manning them well. I don't think that... Ah, those 2 on the sides are towers, damn. The other option is to set up over here and come at that side, but there are still 2 towers. But then it's a much straighter shot to the square. It's just behind it. So yeah, we'll come in from this side. That makes way more sense. And what about the far corner? No, we don't want to come in from that side. So we're going to come in from here. So everyone just come and stand here, really. Some semblance of a formation so that we can move you quite easily. Yes, we will send the miners forward with the ram. We're probably not going to need a second ram. Although, if we do, we do not want it to be over there. So let's move that up. Move all of those up. Alright, there we are. Righty-ho. Start the battle. So, you with the ram, bring it there. You with the second ram, you might as well bring it forward. Grimborn, take the walls. Militia, you can't get up on that wall, and that wall is taken. But you can get up on that wall, so go over there. Pikes, you're going to be going in. Grinfarn behind. Our Bodgiguard as well. Cavalry, you're the only one that won't really have any purpose today, so let's just keep you out of it. And Scouts, if you can, you are welcome to move forward. Oh, we got another pike unit. Let's group all of those, move those to there, and let's speed her up. Now, let's see if that tower... Oh dear, I pressed the button, didn't I? I've just pressed a button that speeds up the camera, and I can't remember which one I've pressed. Oh, bugger. I can't remember which one I've pressed. They aren't firing arrows at us, so I don't think the towers are working. So what we want is... I think it might be near the bottom. There we are. Toggle camera speed. Caps lock. It's caps lock. It's caps lock that I pressed. Oh, it is firing. Oh, damn. Ah, there we are. That's a bit better. Oh, no, that's still really fast. Is there another button? Decrease camera speed. Oh, C and Z. That's what I'd pressed. There we are. It's find a happy medium. Sorry, it was zooming around way too quickly for my liking. Right, now speed her up. We're getting shot. What are we getting shot by? Ah, Lindar Mariners are hitting us with javelins on the Grimborn Reavers as well. That's annoying. Oh, I forgot that ladder units can run. I barely ever siege cities.
Our men have reached the walls with their ladders.
You can put that down now. Move the pikes forward.
The battering ram has done its work. Now is the time for
Send the
brave
pikes in.
hearts
Nice
and
solid
brave
line. Just
deeds.
push through.
We have captured the enemy's walls.
We should be alright, I think. Lindar Guards and Amanyar Swordmasters. The Grimborn Reavers on the wall have done very well despite taking losses. The Grimborn Reavers on that wall aren't needed at all, so you can just come and flank our enemy, and you guys can come down here. We have taken some arrow fire from the towers, which is a shame. There we are. Grimborn Reavers frighten enemy infantry and have excellent stamina. Total defense 26 and attack of 17, but they're not armor piercing, so they don't get any sort of buffed damage. Move all of that lot and get it all ready for when the time comes. All we've got to do is get to the square, kill everyone there, and then hold out. I think we'll probably win from the timer rather than from an actual victory today. You want to see what the Grimborn Reavers look like up close and personal? This is them. Silver and black abound. Keep pushing this whole force away to the right-hand side so that we can start sneaking units in. Oh, don't tell me you're going up the ladders. Oh, you blimmin' well are. Stupid morons. Right, through we go, through we go, through we go. Grimborn on the walls, how are we doing? Ah, they put the Lingdon long spears on the walls. I always think that's silly. Pike units on the walls always tend to not do very well at all. Oh, and the pikes are ready as well. Up you guys come. I don't know what the enemy is doing.
Very much in our favour. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Right, let's actually think this through. Who's the first one in? You guys are. Get yourselves over there and form a nice line. Let's pause it. We've got some miners as well. Get yourselves there. Make a nice line. Everyone just block the elves out. That's how we're going to win. Militia. You guys go like that. And Oin's also here, isn't he? He's up in that number. Yes. You guys can fill that smaller gap at the back. Pikes come to there and we'll worry about you in a minute. Alright, keep going. Go, 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 go. As soon as we hit the square, they're all going to turn around and hit us. There it is.
Control of my lord! We have lost control of the city!
Alright, only one unit in the centre to kill. So everyone converge on that one unit. Except for you guys. Keep those elven defenders out over there. Hit that elven defender. There's plenty of you to deal with them. You guys curl and hit. Oh, and there's the Calaquendi Lords. Right, pikes. Where's the bulk of the enemy? They are all on the walls over there. So the pikes take a line and stop our enemy getting through. That should work. They're moving in. You just got to keep those elven defenders at bay. Like, really push through into their number. Like, let's surround them and out, completely take them down. That's nice. That's perfect. There's hardly any of them left. Upgraded elven defenders as well.
They have lost half their men.
Elven defenders have such a small unit size. You guys can come back and hit those elven defenders. The rest of the pikes
Our men are winning the
can easily
battle.
take up your
If we
position.
continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
And they're forming a rear guard. So the AI is just going to hand us the victory by the looks of it. We've just got to get them out of the square then. And we've got them relatively nicely surrounded. It's just the Calaquendi Lords. Right, let's try and get the Grimborn to flank. You can hit them in the back. That'll do good. Grinfar, do you have an ability? No, you don't.
The battle is very much in our favour. If we remain true
There
and
we are.
steadfast, victory will be ours.
20 Calaquendi Lords. That number's dropping. And it's down to only 10. Yep, they're off.
Curses! Our men no longer command the city.
No, we will do. We will do. There's only one left, and it's their general, isn't it? Oh, and there he is. Surrounded by Grimborn Reavers. He's shielding them off, but down he goes.
Dead. Let the crows have his miserable
Nice.
bones, and let our swords have his men.
Our Grimborn Reavers on the walls are, of course, keeping most of the enemy at bay, but they also have taken almost a complete pounding.
The battle is very much in our favour. If we remain true and steadfast,
How did they get
victory
through?
will be ours.
Keep them back. Only a minute left. Yes, it's like we've snuck in and taken Mithlond from under their nose. The Grimborn Reavers on the wall, I'm expecting fantastic numbers, I have to say. Oh, the scouts, you never even got involved, did you? Right, a thin line of elves is coming back. But our pike lines are ready. Yes!
This is a clear victory.
Only 528, that's not bad. Grimborn Reavers 333. As expected, the dwarves on the walls have showered themselves in glory. So Mithlond is under our control. We have to hold it, though. That's the problem. When the script checks to see who best to spawn, it will ask the game at that exact moment, does Linden have Mithlond and Forlond? I keep saying Harlond, don't I? But I mean Forlond. Northern Haven, not Southern Haven. So if we don't own both, then the elves will still attack. So we actually have to hold Mithlond. And of course, Círdan is now coming back.
A most noble conquest, sire.
I'd rather that one so we get the money. Keep the Builders Hall. We can't use an Noldor Guard Hall. That's unique to the elves. We can't use a History Guild. We can use a Leatherworker. We can't use a Teleri Barracks. Otherwise, everything else is we can use. Everything else has Dwarven usage. I don't know what you're being upgraded or replenished for, but remember as well that fortunately, in a very nice twist, Mithlond is one of the few regions in the game that has a fully complete set of pre-built watchtowers, so you get full sight range as soon as you land, or as soon as you take it. Now what we're going to leave behind is those 3 units there, and I think, to be honest, that will be enough. But no, I'm going to leave a general, I'm going to leave the Longbeards, and then the crossbows, but I'll take one of the other pikes, so that should be enough. Build me another watchtower. We've already got more than we need, but build me another one. Right, so you guys are going to stay behind as the governors of this place. We now make fantastic amounts of money.
Aye, Lord. That'll do him today, sire.
Thorin's horse is retraining. Well, I'm not really sure what it's retraining, but they're on their way.
My king.
Right, that was good. And Círdan is very far away. Should be able to beat him. Yes, I think we'll beat him to Forlond. And Nechanian is not going to be able to take Mithlond on his own. He'll need more troops. Harlond is quite a ways away, and of course, outside of Harlond, Forlond and Mithlond, the High Elves only have Imladris, and that's not sending troops anytime soon. So hopefully we may even be able to really crush the High Elves here. This will probably end them, I would have thought. Because in all of our testing and playthroughs so far, what we've seen is that the High Elves put all of their military focus on Imladris, which is fantastic. It means Imladris actually expands. They take places like the Ettenmoors, and they head down into the province just south of them that I can't remember the name of. Something Gorge. Cala Gorge. They head into the Cala Gorge and take that region. And they give real trouble to the Misty Mountains, or Moria. But the Linden region doesn't really do anything. And we just have to hope that it stays that way. No, I don't want another general. Mithlond gets an Axesmith Guild. I don't really want an Axesmith Guild in Mithlond, if I'm honest. I'd rather use that money to get troops. So even though it will hurt my guild points, I'm going to decline.
My king. In your name.
Right, we are now a turn away from Forlond, and then a turn away from sieging and taking it.
Aye, Lord. Aye.
If we can get Bree to attack us, that would just be brilliant, because that will really... We will beat Bree, I should have thought, with some ease. And we can't actually train anything, annoyingly. We can build a load of buildings. Thorin's Halls. It's too late, really, for you to try and build anything. We should build something somewhere else. Oh, I'd love a port, actually. I would really like a port here. That would be a good one. And then we got a little bit of money after that. Where we got about 2,000 after that. For Hamgathor, you're our second city. Ah, large pig farm. Yeah, you give us that. Although a mining network would be nice. But no, we'll get the port, we'll get the pig farm, see how much money we've got after that. Hopefully Thorin's Halls can then give us some troops. But it's got a reasonable sized garrison. Or it's got a reasonable sized force here, sorry. Oh, take out the retraining. Let's actually train that unit. 2 turns for another pike unit. We're retraining that. No, I think actually train a pike unit. Oh, 11 turns. Whereas if we wait... No, another pike unit is better. 106 pikemen is a solid amount already. That's fine. Although you could build... Ah, we need the miners' union, actually, don't we? That's what we really would like, because that gives another unit of free upkeep. But it takes 7 turns to build. No, it only takes 4 thanks to the... Yeah, no, we're going to do that. I'm going to take your building away. And... Oh, I can't build the miners' union anyway. Damn. Alright, so carry on with your large pig farm. We'll get the union probably before the port. But that's good, that's how I'd like it. Diplomat, have I moved you? No, but you're into Khazad's territory. They're not dead yet. We are buffing Khazad. Hummingbird is making constant and tweaks and balance changes courtesy of the large number of testers that we have at the moment. So balance changes are being made for the factions that are the weakest with the removal of the barracks event. But it hasn't drastically changed the game because there isn't anything in Divide and Conquer that is as game-changing as the base game. So in Vanilla, for example, the barracks event, or the system that the barracks event is based on, as we know it, is there to bring in things like gunpowder units. And of course, in the base game, gunpowder does change the game drastically. Cities and towns become useless because cannons can bring down the towers in seconds. And of course, musketeers and cannons can decimate the battlefield. And if used well, can change the fight completely. So getting them at the first turn is not usually ideal. Oh, Selertsakan has been lost. Eriador rises. My lord, as I feared, the Grimborn raids have not gone unnoticed, and our scouts report that a vast and well-equipped army has mustered in Eriador, and will be at our gates in a year's time. That's 4 turns. Whether followers of Grinfarn or not, we must now all come together to defend the mountains. Aha! Bree is under siege. That was like a dastardly evil villain, wasn't it? Haha! Bree is under siege.
Aye, my liege.
Oh, and yes, Forlond has nothing. We only need rams, and I only need 1 because it's only a town, and there's no one in there. A nice, easy victory. So it will be Bree that will attack us. If you are wondering, if Bree take Mithlond back from us, if the Hobbit captain coming through, Will and Filbert, Filbert could do with him popping back into the barbers, couldn't he? If Will and Filbert come through, and Will looks like a lady masquerading as a man, but if the 2 of them come and take Mithlond, then Linden is that still means that the High Elves don't own it. So as far as the script is concerned, it still won't pop the High Elven army. Just in case you're wondering. That didn't build my building. That's annoying. I have to wait another turn. But we've only got the 4 turns anyway, which means we will be attacked as that building builds. No, it'll be a turn left on it. So it's not as important building you now. I think we should use that money to now get the port then. Now that we know definitely we've got 4 turns until they come.
Aye, my lord.
Now it's all turning up. Ah, Khazad.
Have a proposition.
What say you? Oh, come on. You lied to that.
Well, what's your next suggestion?
I'll give you 1,000 gold coins.
I see your reason, but another most reasonable
Give me the
proposal.
alliance, man. I can only give you all the money I have. Nope. I have to wait. I have to wait. But we're getting an alliance. We've got time. You have loads and loads and loads of time. The Dwarven attack doesn't come for some time after the first attack. It really is a lot later. I think it's about 20 or 25-ish turns later. So we've got all that time to get an alliance with Khazad. So there's plenty of opportunity. We needn't worry yet. And getting an alliance with them 2 in the bag will help us greatly. Because what I'm thinking now is we'll probably be able to kill the High Elves from Linden, and then we can quite easily nip down and take Basra-Dum, and then turn on Bree, who are obviously coming for us. Particularly now the Northern Dunedain attacked us. That makes Bree more likely to want to attack us. And even though we pieced out with the Northern Dunedain, or the Dunedain of Arnor, as they are now called, or will be called. Ah, the ring is in Erebor in Rohan. Reclaiming Eorl's horn. The horn of the Mark was a silver horn made by the descendants of Belagost's dwarves who sought refuge in Longbeard settlements. It was among the treasures that the longworm Scatha took from them. When Fram killed Scatha, his horn became a matter of dispute between the Aethiod and the dwarves. Nonetheless, the horn was taken by the Aethiod and apparently it became an heirloom of the House of Eorl, even when they settled Rohan. We should send our diplomat on a mission to Edoras to request the return of the horn to its rightful owner. Oh, Will really is coming for us. Oh, and Círdan has popped up. Where is our diplomat, speaking of? He's outside Dead Man's Dyke, isn't he? Go on then, we'll send him to Rohan. Let's see what happens. I assume we just have to sort of stand in the Rohan region.
Of course, sir.
The King's Land is the name of that region. Oh, and it is Dunland attacking Bree. I'm surprised Bree are coming for us then, if their capital is under attack. But anyway, we go. No garrison forces. Perfect. Very heavily in our favour. We want to maximise our chances. Now they did have a couple of Mariner units, didn't they? So we're going to have some javelins thrown at us. So it'll be a shields up affair. But towns, while still having towers, are not a threat to siege equipment. They are only a threat to your men. So. Unless you get really, really unlucky and one of those arrows sets your siege ram on fire. But it's... I don't know that those types of arrows actually can set siege on fire. But those are going to be famous last words that I'm about to eat, aren't I? I'm surprised I brought those for. Right, forward we go. Now, of course, they will do a lot of damage to our men, but hopefully the ram will take no damage. But each arrow shot kills a man, basically, now. That's essentially the only difference. That's all we really did to the towers. I didn't increase the number that they shoot, or the amount of arrows that they shoot. I simply increased their accuracy and increased their damage so that they actually kill what they shoot at. And as you can see, it causes a great deal of death now.
Our men have done well. The gates have fallen.
In we go, everyone. The enemy will be pulling back. No, the enemy is going to stand right behind.
Our soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
There we are. We silenced the walls. The AI is pulling back to the square, which is perfect for our pikes. And our Grimborn units can go round this side. And our militia can go round this side. Keep up now! And only the pikes going down the middle? Yes. So we've taken a fair amount of... We've taken a bit of a beating in getting to this point. But I'm not overly concerned, if I'm honest. Because if we can take Forlond and Mithlond down, that'll be fantastic. The High Elves will basically be done. That'll be them out of this game. And they're the real threat, let's be honest. Bree have no hope of dealing with the dwarves in a proper competition. Oh, but speaking of competitions, it's elves versus pikes. Elves versus dwarves. In a grand pike showdown.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
But our extra forces are coming around.
The enemy general lies dead.
The enemy general has been
let
killed.
Let the crows have his miserable
Oh, wow.
And let our swords have his
Ered Luin pikemen absolutely eat Linden long spears for breakfast and then some. They're having them for brunch and lunch and dinner and supper. I would have thought the long spears would have put up a much better fight than that. Hold on, what are the stats here? Because that's insane. 4 attack, 9 defense. Ered Luin, 4 attack, 9 defense. We're identical. So why did we slaughter them and they did almost nothing? There must be some sort of hidden stat going on there. I mean, we did have more numbers, I suppose, didn't we? But is that really all that's going on here? Anyway, we'll keep it at ×6. Linden's roster is just so fantastic. They are easily the best looking units in the game. And not necessarily from a design perspective. So there may be units that you think have a better design, but in terms of actual no graphical glitches and crisp, clear textures, Linden's roster is the best when judged by those standards. There's only 1 or 2 units left. I don't really know where they are. Oh, there they are. They're dead. We lost a fair amount there, and most of that will be from walls. 150 kills. Ered Luin pikemen. Well done, men. Now, we do have to watch out, though, because Círdan, of course, has Mithlond nobles as his bodyguard, and they are one of the finest sword and board units the game has to offer. and they will do very well. Even on their own, they'll claim a lot. But then we've got Grimborn Reavers now, and they're really powerful. But I think the garrison in Thorin's Halls is now strong enough to fend off Bree's attack. So we shall see in 2-ish more turns, I think it is.
Victory! Well done, men.
We'll occupy that one. Oh, was that admission, really? Oh, we got a Longbeard phalanx in Thorin's Halls for our trouble. That's fantastic. We should have enough phalanxes here now. Or pikes, rather. I should call them pikes rather than phalanxes. Both of those can now retrain, so they'll be trained in time. Oh, chuck in an Ironmongers. Why not? Forlond really hates us. I definitely should have killed everyone. And as we say, there's only Círdan and Nechainian who are actually here. It's the Breeland army that's far more powerful. So we're going to have to pop over and attack Círdan, because we can't have him coming in from... We can't have him sneaking up behind us. So we'll leave those behind, and maybe them. Oh, it really hates us. We're probably almost certainly going to see a rebellion here. I should have exterminated. Oh well. Aha!
By your will, sire, we shall engage. Glory and honor.
Even against with these odds, I'm going to fight this just so that you can all see Círdan, but this will likely end the episode. So the next episode will be the attack on Thorin's Halls, but it will likely be a large battle, and we're a few turns away from it anyway, so that will be for the next episode. But we'll kill Círdan and call an end to our assault on Mithlond. So, Pikes, you're going to go down the middle and get his attention. Grimborn Reavers, you're going to go down the sides, and Cavalry, you're going to flank all the way around the back, and for what little good it can do, you're going to charge him in the back. Now, he might turn himself to the right, because the AI really likes to focus on your generals. But you never know, you never know, you never know. He is coming at the moment straight for the pikes. No, he's cutting left, and he's going for those. Alright. Let's rejig ourselves then. The pikes will hopefully take down those few nobles that are with them. And he's hit the Grimborn Reavers head on. In we go, in we go, in we go. Cavalry over to there. Oh, this is what I mean. The Mithlond nobles are absolutely chomping through those Reavers. So nobles, they inspire their own troops. Their attack is 21 and their defense is 38. So their attack is 4 better than ours and their defense is 8 better than ours. So it'll be in numbers where we are able to best them. But no, the cavalry doesn't know what to do because they've got men over here.
Victory will be ours.
We surround them now, and surrounding an elite unit is the best way of killing it.
Badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Yeah, most of their number are dead. Oh, in fact, almost all of them are dead now. Surrounding them has worked a treat. And there are still 26 of them out there somewhere. Ah, most of them are here. Oh, is that Círdan himself? Ah, yes it is. Do you have a beard? Because that would just be brilliant. Ah, yes he does. I'm sure many of you know this by now, but elves don't grow beards and they don't age unless they have a life particularly long or full of strife. So if an elf lived in Elves of Aman, for example, Valinor, who have fought in almost no wars unless they joined in the War of Wrath and have spent all their life in peace chilling with the Valar, they will all look youthful. You'd go there and think that every single one of them is a beauty pageant winner. But of course the elves of Middle-earth, who have had a hard life, and particularly Círdan, who is one of the few named elves to have awoken at Cuavernon, and is thus one of the oldest elves in all of Middle-earth. He looks old because he is just damn old. And he has had a life of strife. He pops up quite a lot in the tales of the Silmarillion. His name is mentioned every now and then because that's where most of the elves lived in the First Age, in Beleriand. And of course he managed to escape and is one of the founding members of Lindon along with Gil-galad. And he, however, survived, whereas Gil-galad did not. Although I don't know if Círdan... I don't think Círdan is mentioned as taking part in the Last Alliance, but I do get the distinct impression that Círdan is something of an afterthought from Tolkien. And so rather than thinking, oh, I'm going to have an elf who I'm going to say awoke at the first at the Awakening and is still going to be alive in the Third Age. I think rather than that, it just sort of worked out that Círdan could be the Lord of Mithlond after Gil-galad's fall, and then it was like, oh, that can be the same Círdan that I've mentioned before. There's the same thing that we see with Glorfindel, in that Tolkien wasn't actually 100% set that the Glorfindel of the First Age who fights the Balrog after the downfall and sacking of Gondolin is the same Glorfindel who then saves Frodo and, of course, the company as they wander the wilderness on their way to Imladris. Tolkien eventually settled on them being the same elf, and that Eru Ilúvatar had sent him back personally. But depending on when you joined Tolkien's Legendarium, that wasn't always the case. And for a long time, there were two different elves who both happened to be called Glorfindel. So Círdan could well have been the same, but this time, because the original Círdan didn't die, there was no need for Tolkien to create an elaborate sort of revival, if you will. But we will end the turn one more time, just to see what happens with Mithlond, and then I will end the episode. And then I've got to edit out that bit where Callie brought a bird in. As expected, Bree have gone to war with us by attacking Mithlond. I'm not sure that we'll be able to hold them, but we don't know what they've got yet, so we can't count our chickens just yet, because Bree are pathetically bad at this game, and our Dwarven warriors outclass them and then some. So anything that they bring to the table at Mithlond, we shall be greater than them. But it's just whether or not we've got enough troops to capitalise on, whether we reach that sort of tipping point where their numbers are bested by our skill. But do we have enough men just to tip that balance? We don't really know yet, because we did lose quite a few troops there against, in taking Forlond, and then particularly fighting Círdan. He took more than I would have liked. Mithlond nobles are a damn fine unit. But there is one unit that has been added to the game that is better than both Mithlond nobles and Smiths of Eregion. And you hopefully shall meet them in due course. But it will be very late game that you see them. But if I can get them in the game, which I really want to show them off to you all, that'd be really good, because they are monsters on the field. And it caused something of a stir, and I'm sure it will cause a stir for all of you as well in the comments below, because the unit that you get as a reward for the Buzzradum Reclamation is single-handedly the best foot unit in the entire game. And a lot of people said, you can't have that. The Smiths of Eregion absolutely must be the best unit in the game. It makes no sense. But this is one of those rare occasions where gameplay had to come above strict law, because you don't want to have fought your way to reclaiming Buzzradum, killed a Balrog, killed nearly 6,000 goblins. You then got to actually build the expedition buildings, which is about 40 turns itself. You don't want to have done all of that only to get a unit that's barely better than your already existing elites. It needed to be a unit that really felt like a reward. That's the point. There are certain points where you can have units that are just better. What am I looking for? The brewery, that's what we want there. Right, so we killed Nakaimian on whatever he was called. It was Nakainian or Nakaimian, and we should be able to make it back in time to hit Will. But as I say, other than just trying to get Khazad-dûm to like us again,
What is it you wish to talk about?
I will... We've got even less money this time, but we'll try and give them everything straight off the bat and see if they take it. Balin, come on! We're going to have to pay him even more money. They might like me less and less as this progresses on. I'm surprised we're making so much money with so many troops, because only 4 of those units are free upkeep. We're paying for all of that, and almost all of it's coming from Thorin's Halls. But that all is going to conclude this one. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. I do hope you have enjoyed both this episode and indeed the ongoing Warhammer 2 episodes. In fact, I thoroughly hope you've enjoyed the Warhammer 2 episodes, because I would like to keep Warhammer 2 going when this all returns to normality and the COVID situation passes and we're all dragged back kicking and screaming to work. Although I work from home already, as I've mentioned many times. But of course, once normality is restored and all our time pops away out the window, I hope to keep Warhammer going, to be honest. But anyway, for now, I'll leave you with the your thoughts on Will and whether or not the photoshopped wig that has been put on Will works. And I shall see you again soon. So until we speak again, dear friends, na vair na den pedamad melonin, and farewell.